Hi there, thanks for joining me today. I'm Tiff of Informal Farmer. You might be asking, what the heck is an informal farmer? It's just a word I made up, put together, basically saying I'm not officially a farmer, I don't have a ton of land, it's not my full-time job. And although I would like to do more with my land, it's not something I ever really wished to do full-time. In fact, I have a full-time job, my husband has a full-time job. We love our jobs and want to continue growing in our jobs. But at the same time, we really want to have control over where our food is from, what goes into it, and providing healthy food for ourselves and our family. So I wanted to start by going over what homesteading is, because you might have found this channel or this video and not really realize what homesteading is, what it means, how to do it. So I've been homesteading for about 2 years, and a few months ago I barely figured out that it's actually called homesteading. So I was kind of saying we have like a ranch or a farm, but nothing really fit. And then when I discovered what homesteading is, I realized, yes, that is it. That's what we're doing. And it's all about self-sufficiency, being more reliant, and not relying on the food systems that are currently in place. And truthfully, we don't really believe in them and don't want to support them. If you've just started researching homesteading, farming, or ranching, it might seem overwhelming. It's a big production. People who do it full-time have cows, goats, sheep. They could even spin their own wool, milk their cows to make cheese and butter. It's wonderful, and there are some great aspirations in there. And it is for some people, it might not be for everyone. For us, we've stuck to 1¼ acre. We raise pigs for meat. We have chickens, which give us eggs. We're not quite into meat chickens yet. And then we have a vegetable garden and fruit trees, which provides plenty enough for us to feel good about it and keep moving forward, but it still allows us to maintain our day jobs. So like I said, if you're in the research phases and still learning what a homestead or a ranch or a farm is, it can be very overwhelming. And I'll admit, when I first started, it was overwhelming too, because I had dreams of having that dairy cow and having goats and sheep and doing all the things and 10 acres. Ever since I was a kid, I thought I wanted to have a farm and raise animals. And then later when I went to school and became a dietitian and learned about our food systems and where food came from and how animals were treated, I know I didn't want to be a part of that system. So I thought, how cool would it be if I could grow all my own food and raise all my own animals for meat? It does sound really cool, and I still wish I could do that. But the reality is I don't have time, and I do love my job. So I'm trying to find that balance that gets me there. And I think that there's probably a lot of people out there who would like to do the same thing. Either you love your job or you need your job for the income. So you start small, start practicing, break your goals into little goals, and chip away at them. For me personally, I grew up with a mom who always had a vegetable garden, and we raised fruit trees or fruit on the vine. And that was such a rewarding experience. Being able to put a seed in the ground, watch it grow, harvest your food, and either cook it fresh or can it. After I got married, we lived in a housing tract, a big house and a tiny yard. I only had about 200 square feet to garden, but that's where I decided to start practicing. So everywhere you live, soil's different. You have to learn what kind of soil you have, what it's gonna take to get it where it needs to be so you can garden. And then from there, I got to practice. I got to make all my mistakes. I got to learn what seeds worked where I was. And then when it came time for my next step to have more land and a much smaller house, I was more prepared and confident going into my gardening. So it doesn't matter if you're in an apartment, if you're in a duplex, if you're in a large piece of land, no matter where you are, you can start vegetable gardening. My goal is to show you how my husband and I balance our family time, work time, and homestead time. We've come up with lots of tips and tricks on how to be efficient to reduce that daily chore time so that you can still maintain your job and have family time and take vacations. which we do. I'll show you how we do it. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and definitely comment. Tell me where you're at, if you're having any hiccups, and I can help give you little motivations or strategies to help move you along to take that next step. My next video will be coming out in about a week, and I will be breaking down those initial steps on how to start your homestead, where you find your research on what you can or can't do, and how to break your big dreams down into smaller goals so that you can make those little steps towards your homestead. Homesteading while working a full-time job is definitely difficult, but when you arm yourself with the right knowledge and practice, it's possible. Thank you for joining me, and remember, you've got this.